to deal with it. That'll do. Slender Man, take your hood off. We can't hear Slender Man's opinions on Kingsman because Slender Man don't talk.
That we know of.
He doesn't.
Maybe he's like the Dark Ones in Metro. He can't talk to you until they touch
Internet, we saw Kingsman: The Secret Service.
you. Go see this movie. Do it now.
This is probably one of the best action movies I've seen in a while. I mean, if I had to draw the line at pure enjoyable action, I'd say it's the best one since The Raid 2. And The Raid 2...
Alex, you're like the only person who knows that movie.
Okay, fine. The Raid 2 is every kung fu action movie rolled up into a ball and then spat in your face with a little bit of L.A. Noir.
It's a little
It's
gory.
Indonesian, though, so there's like no subtitles at all in this movie, but...
The Raid 2,
The
not
Raid 2.
Kingsman.
Kingsman is so very British.
Kingsman's a little
So
gory.
glorious, though.
There was times I had to kind of close my eyes a little, but
Yeah,
And the main bad guy, played by Samuel L. Jackson, which is so
it was
amazing.
just
Bizarre
as funny
Wisp.
as in the commercials. So if you thought the commercials were it for his funny lines,
he's all over that
Yes.
movie.
He is the bad guy in this movie, and as Christina said, gory. He doesn't like the sight of blood. He vomits when he sees it.
you know what I like about him? He's not a super villain. He's an idealist who turns to villainy. So the fact that he hates the idea of violence is perfect.
Not a
I
bad
think.
idea that he had, just like the massively wrong way to
No,
go
it was a
about it.
horrible idea. It was a horrible, awful idea.
His concept about
Minus
global
the
warming
massive
is
genocide.
something people have mentioned. But the way he was going about
He's
it,
one of those people who's like, humanity is a disease that's affecting the earth. It's time to cull some of our numbers.
or the earth will do it for us. In his mind, he was trying to stop natural disasters.
Yeah, and okay. His plan, though very effective. Like,
Alex, let's just go ahead
I'm
and
not,
put
I'm
a
not,
spoiler
I'm not,
alert.
I'm not going to actually tell you what his plan is,
just
but
in case.
yeah, we'll avoid actually discussing what his plan is, because it's not necessary for us to tell you what that is. But his plan, though insane Bond villain, super villainy levels of
Yes.
malevolent, was very reasonably executed.
As long as we're on the topic of Bond, I spotted
So many Bond references.
so many Bond references.
Bond
not
references.
even references, just straight up mentioning Bond movies.
They
But
mentioned
early
Bond,
Bond
Jack
movies.
Barrowman.
Jack Barrow
Jack Barrow, yes, sorry.
from
No,
I got that
they
confused.
didn't mention Jack
Yeah,
Barrowman.
Jack Barrow.
that was
I
the
got
name of
the
his
name.
dog.
No, that was the guy from 24.
Yes, and that was what he named. That's what
They're
Eggsy named his
referencing a
dog.
But
lot
it
of spy
wasn't. Oh,
movies.
Jack Bauer, yeah.
He named
Jack
his
Sparrow.
dog JB.
Because he said
You missed
Bowerman,
that
and
part.
I thought John Barrowman was what
I did too.
Brandon was
at
saying,
first.
because we both like Torchwood and John Barrowman,
They
the
didn't-
actor.
awesome.
They didn't make that
Yeah,
reference.
yeah, it was. He said Jack Barrowman. I heard John Barrowman. He meant Jack
I
Bauer.
got the names confused.
We both. Yeah. No,
They did,
Jack Bauer
but
from
they
24.
they reference like every popular spy movies. Oh my god, they like just, as Alex
No.
said, they straight up mention James Bond.
They straight up say Jason Bourne once. You missed that.
No, I heard all of that. I just heard the wrong name when Brandon said
No,
it.
like Jason Bourne, was a
Jason
part where you were
Bourne-
out of the movie.
No, I was there.
Oh, okay.
I heard that scene.
But they also, they do a scene from Men in Black. They do a scene from The Matrix.
Oh, definitely Matrix influence.
And
there.
they even mentioned President Reagan's obsession with the Star Wars movies once.
No, Star Wars was literally the name of his program to have, like, military power in space.
Yeah.
But he, like, got that out, not the idea out of it, but he did, like, massively enjoy the Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
No, wait,
No,
no.
thank you.
Why does
Reagan-
everyone else like raisins and chocolate?
I just don't
I
feel
don't like
chocolate right
chocolate-covered
now.
raisins. I like my raisins plain.
I'm not in a chocolate mood. It's weird, but I'm not.
Actually, I might be having my
I thought
history
the Star
wrong.
Wars
Some-
There you
program
go.
was before the show, the movies.
Let's see.
when
Reagan
was
was
Reagan's presidency?
Reagan was president in the 80s, so that is the post-Star Wars.
Post Star Wars. Okay, then
Okay,
I'm
so yeah, I'm
thinking
right.
Kennedy's Star program.
Thank you.
That had a different name.
Yeah,
you.
but I just got the names. It's been
We
a
should
long
really
day.
try talking about the movie. We keep getting sidetracked.
The movie was awesome.
It was.
I'm saying that.
It starts out with a... You know, you've been liking a lot of movies because we only take you to movies you're gonna like, so that doesn't hold as much water anymore.
Oh my god, you're right. I'm so focused on hating things.
I might have a chocolate-covered one anyway.
But, okay,
That
so the movie
non-possible
opens with
cookies.
actually a really cool way of doing the opening credits where these guys fly into some Middle Eastern country, and when they blow up parts of the building and they're like, boom, like the gasoline explosion comes out, you know, the standard Hollywood explosion, they do sort of a blended in CGI rubble that falls and forms the credits. I liked that.
I thought
was
the
awesome.
whole cold opening was really well done.
Yeah, that whole they started with like a mission goes a little south, someone dies. It was Eggsy, that's his name, Egg Z. His dad dies. He gets a little thing from the
Metal.
Secret Service, the Kingsman, who his dad was secretly working for, with like a number on the back. It's like this number. This is a favor. you use this number and you say Oxford's before Brogues, and we'll basically do anything for you once. So hold on to that number. And then I guess it was his actual mom.
That was, yeah. It's amazing what a wig and some makeup can do.
God, yeah. It's like she went from, you know, relatively clean, lower class housewife to, wow, slum mother. Ugh. And his dad is apparently crime lord of that slum or
Yeah, the
something.
stepfather.
The stepdad was a piece of shit.
Drug dealer, I
Love that ending.
I think the implication was he was the drug lord for that particular tenement.
To get his son that car, probably. Yeah, probably. What happened after, where were we in the description?
They steal the car!
Oh, yeah.
They steal the car!
You lifted his keys. Now we're lifting his car.
Now we're jacking his car. No, pinching, he said. Pinching the car, didn't he?
That was 2 hours ago. It was 2 hours ago.
I'm
best
too in love with
part-
this movie to remember.
The best part, they do the donuts, they peel off down the street, the guy's calling his dad,
God, I need this.
and then
Right as he's
Blue
calling
lights.
his dad, you see the lights
Oh, yeah.
flashing,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
the car they stole comes in reverse, flying back with the police right on their bumper.
That was well comically timed. This movie is like not even just Samuel L. Jackson, although he is the highlight because he's Samuel L. Jacksoning the hell out of this movie.
And that
I thought
list,
Colin
man.
Firth was pretty amazing.
But that's what I'm saying. Everything was fun. Well, not everything, but a lot of it was funny. There were a couple scenes where it suddenly got really bizarrely like serious.
Yeah, but Mark Strong, who played Merlin, I think his first name's Mark. I know his last name's Strong.
Oh, apparently Mark
adore
Michael,
him.
Michael Caine is in this.
The
Yes.
guy who, you didn't even recognize him as Alfred from the Batman
No,
movie.
I recognize him. I just didn't remember
My
what. That was
favorite
fucking
Michael
Alfred.
Caine role is his Sherlock Holmes movie.
He did Sherlock Holmes? Wow, that must have been like in the 80s.
It was him and, oh my god, Orly is going to kill me because I don't remember the name of the other guy. Played Holmes and Watson in a spoof movie of Sherlock Holmes.
It's actually kind of weird trying to describe the plot of this movie because it's really more like two movies.
Mhm.
It's like they do a sort of Harry Potter spy thing for like half the movie, while at the same time we see the beginning setup of Samuel L. Jackson's evil plan.
You know what I love? The movie didn't happen in 3 days.
Yeah, no, not too many movies are like, yeah, you need to see every second of these days. No, we do a significant time skip.
I was trying to debate how long. It must have been a year.
It was long enough for a dog to go from a puppy to at least grown.
It had to have been at least a year.
Yeah.
Judging by how much the baby aged, how much the dogs changed. And you don't really see all of the stuff Jackson's doing. You see a little bit behind the scenes, but it's cool.
Yeah, again, like that whole time skip thing is where they put in all of Samuel L. Jackson's setup time. His plan involves kidnapping a lot of world leaders and getting them on his side, but he has to, go around and talk to them.
And kidnap the people he doesn't that he wants to help produce the new world, like the princess.
Yeah.
Who is based off of a real princess.
Oh, I imagine she loved the ass shot at the end of the movie then.
I don't think she's watched it, but Princess, I believe her name is Princess Christina.
You know, that was
Convenient.
a very nice ass, but it was a somewhat uncomfortable shot.
She's big into global warming, hence why I think they used her.
Well, they certainly used that actress's ass.
I'm pretty sure the princess is never going to see the movie, so she's good. But yeah, it was really cool.
Not the ass, the movie.
No, the whole setup with her and him and their dialogue, it was cute.
Oh, I'm not saying them having sex was poorly established. I just thought the ass.
Yeah, that was a
gratuitous.
little. But I did like their play between during
Yeah.
the movie.
It was very James Bondy. Like the whole him having sex with her, seducing her. She's like, I think she literally said, "We'll do anal if you save the world."
That's
Save
what
the
I
world,
did
we'll do
like.
it in the bottle. I'll be right back.
And you know, the Q type person turning the monitor off.
Yeah, that's very James Bond. Q being like, "All right, James, go have your sex." Yeah, if I was him, I'd been like, "You owe me. This'll do. I'll just watch this."
Well, that's you. A gentleman never watches.
There was, I felt, a bit of an issue with the portrayal of women in this movie. Not like in a worrisome way. Like, it wasn't a mean-spirited towards women movie. It just didn't have much use for them in the movie. Like, one of the first people to die was one of the 2 women candidates for the Kingsman. They later hand-waved it that she didn't die.
Yeah,
When
apparently
did
she
they-
was just a plant in the
When
test.
you left. Like, when they were like,
Oh.
the dog didn't get actually shot. Oh, there's a threat of a dog getting shot. It's a fake-out, okay?
If you're fans of Game of Thrones, apparently the Unsullied are given an animal they have to kill or they get killed. So it was probably a nod out to Game of Thrones and other films that do that.
I still haven't seen that. Is it any good?
But the dog doesn't die. And then he's
It's
like,
long.
she didn't die. She's working in one of our tech centers.
Okay, so
No
it
one was
a fake
actually
out.
in any danger. Which actually, if you were like the whole bit with like the jumping out of the plane, yeah, we probably should have seen that they were being extremely careful about people not dying with that one.
Not to mention they missed the drop. What if that was a real event? They would
That was
have
a
missed the
tiny drop zone.
If that was a real thing, they would have missed the drop zone by like 2 miles with
Yeah,
that
I
long
mean, what was
Roxy waited.
Even the first Power Rangers movie had a more accurate airplane jumping scene.
But it was a cool scene.
Oh no! This movie throws realism out the window to have fun with it.
You know the
Oh God,
female,
does it have fun?
You know the female character that I thought was the best written
Gazelle.
character? Yes. I thought Roxy, she could have been a male character just as easy.
I guess that's actually something that she wasn't a token love interest.
No, she wasn't a token love interest, but her character could have been a man and no difference. And true, Giselle's character could have been a man with no big change, but something
I think
her...
a little bit of the interplay between Gazelle is the one with the totally awesome leg enhancements.
If
I really
anyone's
wanna
seen
know how they
Portal,
did
it's
that.
basically she's got those springy legs that Shell has in Portal.
Except
Only
instead
they're
of
fucking
attached,
swords.
and instead of being attached to her legs, they are her legs. They're prosthetics.
But how did they do that?
That was very
she must have been
slick.
wrapped in a green screen.
It was very slick.
It was really well
And
done.
during her first appearance, I want to call BS when she sliced that agent in half. There would have been blood everywhere.
Oh yeah.
I call bullshit.
But I like that she cares.
But again, realism out the window.
I like that she cares about
Here we go.
Jackson, but she doesn't love him.
Yeah,
damn,
no,
I
I really do feel some of the interplay between Samuel Jackson and Gazelle would have been lost if it
Like,
was
she's
a guy.
not a mother, and she's not quite romantic.
She was more like a sister.
Yeah, and I thought that she was really well written. You could tell
Are we
she
talking
was,
about Gazelle?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could tell she was
No,
gonna kill
at the
people.
very
She-
least, there was an office romance there because he
No.
slapped her on the ass like twice in that movie.
Yeah, but I got the feeling that was
There
more
was
playful.
no romantic
There-
tension
There
between
was
those
a little
two.
when she pushed him to the ground under the table, but not anything serious.
That
But-
was during the middle of him trying not to get shot.
Yeah.
Gazelle is actually a very intriguing character. This is one of those movies Thank God, whoever's playing Eggsy did a good job, because otherwise the bad guys would have charisma'd the hell out of him.
Mm-hmm.
But he does a good job, therefore they're kind of equally matched. And Colin Firth, woo boy, we got a lot of older British actors getting into the action scene now.
Michael Caine.
Who's complaining?
Liam Neeson.
I'm not.
Liam Neeson is Irish.
British Isles. Great Britain. Picky
UK.
bastard.
And technically British does encompass
Also, we
the
can't
UK.
see your face because of the hats.
English-
Like, literally, you're like
Yeah.
a shadow.
English would be just from England.
That's the opposite of
Oh,
helping.
just take them off.
I don't want to.
You are not the shadow.
Fine.
That sort of helps. That's not my hat. We actually got compliments on our hats on the way out.
did.
Of all things. Guys like, cool hats. And I'm like,
No, like, seriously, the hats are awesome.
it's very Indiana Jones, but...
Mine's kind
I
of
will
mostly
say
covered in
this,
dog hair, so...
Talking about hats, if you love clothing,
Oh,
this movie
whoa.
is
Whoa.
the suit.
I'm going...
The Kingsman headquarters base, or, well, their relay station
one of
to
that,
the,
yeah.
is in the underground of a tailor shop.
Those very expensive 3,000-pound suits.
British money, not weight.
Yeah, but they are gorgeous.
Which
suits.
is about, what,
They were.
$6,000?
About 5 and change, actually.
And they were bulletproof.
The conversion's roughly double pounds to get dollars.
I think
not
it's
quite.
about 1.6 nowadays.
Oh, it used to be like 1.8.
Yeah, but I think it went down just a little.
I hate how the currency exchange work. Why can't a dollar just be a dollar?
Because it's
Because
not
a British
dollar.
pound is not a dollar. And a yen is not a dollar.
And
I
a
know.
euro is not a dollar.
At least yen
I
is
know, I'm
easy.
just saying, why can't it be? Currency exchange sucks. I hate math.
Welcome
then-
to capitalism.
Well, then never leave the country. You're set.
I really never had any real plans to do that.
But I'm actually going to see 50 Shades of Grey tomorrow. I will compare the opulence porn of these two movies.
That will be interesting. American opulence versus...
British opulence. Because the British opulence is very much old money. It's like, we just have money hanging off the walls.
That being
I will not
said,
be seeing the movie with him. I've got 5 chapters in that book and I was done.
I might see it and do a social commentary if Alex will let me. But
I'm going to see it tomorrow. so
not
you don't have to
tomorrow,
worry
but
about it.
another day I'd like to borrow your camera and maybe do a social commentary for your channel if you don't mind.
Knock
But
yourself out.
by all means, don't watch it if you don't want. One thing
But
I
anyway,
will
back to
say,
Kingsman. Let's
Colin
not focus
Firth-
on...
No. Colin Firth made a lot of class remarks about how
Yeah, this
true
is...
class comes from within and...
I feel that this is... even though it's trying to be with the story of Eggsy being from the slums and coming up, it's a very classist film. It really is.
And Colin Firth's dialogue tries to show that it's not, but
It doesn't pull it off.
it pulls it off a little bit, but not. It doesn't quite get there. And I get the feeling that's more of a Western, like an American influence than a British.
This is a duo work between the director and the writer of the comic book Kick-Ass. The writer of comic book Kick-Ass was brought on to do the writing for the movie Kick-Ass with the director of this movie and the guy who wrote the book. So this is basically the tag team of Kick-Ass brought together again. Now, I haven't seen Kick-Ass, but I hear that it's got some problems between being goofy violence and cynical, this kind of hurts me violence. Like, it has trouble picking a tone, and there were a couple scenes that had a bit of a tone trouble there, too.
Yeah.
Like, the bit with the mother going for the daughter.
That was straight out of The Shining.
Yeah,
wasn't
that
it?
was very shiny.
That child is scarred for life.
That whole scene was very uncomfortable. I mean, it's part of the evil villain's plan, but it was still very uncomfortable in a movie where we had just watched hundreds of people's heads explode in a shower of colorful lights and fireworks set to classical music.
Which was just amazing.
That's the canon in D, right?
And And it was hilarious. We loved it. It was so funny.
While the entire world is rioting through mind control, they have classical music playing. It was just glorious.
That's the sort of thing, Samuel L. Jackson's character, I turned to Alex and I said, that's something I can picture him planning.
Yeah. And the heads exploding, it was like, okay, yes, people's heads are exploding, so it should be, like, full of blood, but they stylized it to be, like, explosions of, like, jellyfish-shaped color, like it's a fireworks
display.
And it was funny!
You know, despite all the gore in this movie, there was very little blood.
Yeah, except for the one scene, which I really... It can't be taken out of the movie. It's very important to the movie. There's a scene where Colin Firth, because following a lead, goes to visit basically a Westboro Baptist church in Kentucky.
I hate
or
those
Kansas.
guys so much.
They were at Ichiban Con. The
And
Westboro
AZ
guy?
last year.
It wasn't Westboro, it was another.
Well, they had
It
the
was the
same
Westboro
goddamn
Baptist Church.
signs.
It was the Westboro Baptist
They're
Church,
like,
and it was the
anime
same
is
tune from Man
fantasy.
Z.
Anime is fantasy. Don't lose yourself in the fantasy. It was so pathetic.
And then they were saying how women's place is in the home,
Yeah.
surrounded by women at an anime con.
Yeah, if
Good
you've
luck
never
with
been
that
to
one.
an anime convention, don't insult the women there. They are very rabid and easily set off.
And scantily clothed, some of them.
Although, I
Like
must
that
say,
one
the one...
dress as a Kill la Kill character that literally had like nothing on. I was
No,
impressed
at
at how she
AZ
wasn't
they
freezing.
actually got to one of the girls wearing less clothing. The guys closed ranks.
Oh, yeah, I imagine
That's probably
so.
why the police asked them to leave.
But anyway, so Colin Firth has to go to the Westboro Baptist Church. There, the priest head guy is spouting all sorts of hateful shit. And then
They actually do use the negative language. I thought when I first heard his sermon, I thought they were going to back away from it. I'm actually glad they didn't. Because it shows how ridiculous what he was saying was.
No, if you're not really familiar with the Westboro Baptist Church rhetoric,
God hates fags.
This would sound like a parody. Like this movie, this preacher, he may seem like a parody. He's really not.
They're the guys who takes God hates fags to
And
army
funerals of
people's
soldiers.
funerals.
Yeah, that's gonna get them shot one day.
But
And I'm gonna laugh when it happens.
so I guess we have to reveal Samuel L. Jackson's plan involves mind
Oh,
control.
no. Oh, can we say what Colin Firth says to that woman, though?
I am a Catholic. I am a Catholic.
All the things in the world
Who's
to piss
about
her
to go
off.
cheat on my wife with my gay nigga Jewish houseboy or something.
Lover. Boyfriend. He said the word boyfriend.
He says possibly everything he can to piss her off. And oh my god.
And
it
then-
was
Bless
funny.
Satan.
Hail Satan! Then he walks off like a
it was
pimp.
anyway. And he's in this full suit, and everyone around him's like conservative, southern. It was
Okay,
wonderful.
so Samuel L. Jackson's plan involves mind control. So this church is literally just a test. He's just testing to make sure it works before he implements the full plan. You think he would have done that a few more days, like maybe a year in advance of his plan, just to make
No,
sure
I
it
what
was
think,
working?
better
no,
place
they
to do it,
updated
though?
from 6 days to 2, so it was a full week.
It still
before.
seems a little close, considering he had everything else, including the evacuation plan, set up. Like, if you're not sure your technology's gonna work, you don't really set up evacuation plans yet.
Well,
But regardless,
yeah, it was a little weird.
the movie doesn't really make any bones about being realistic.
The movie does not care.
So he activates
The
mind control thing, and everyone in the church starts beating the shit out of each other.
Basically,
And
it's a wave
unfortunately-
frequency that,
we don't need to go into that much detail. Everyone in the church starts beating the shit out of each other,
and the secret agent
including
guy.
Colin Firth with his secret agent training and weaponry. They all die. He doesn't kill all of them because some of them killed each other. There were a lot of guns in there too because Southern
It's Kentucky.
or Kansas, one of the two.
It was
I
Kentucky.
thought it was Kentucky. Talk about the directors making a statement.
Yeah,
about
no,
Westboro.
that was
Yeah.
that's partly why that scene was so uncomfortable because these were innocent people. Like, okay, assholes but innocent people.
But no one we're gonna cry over.
But that's exactly it. It was so blatantly set up that these are horrible people. Now the movie's gonna kill them for your enjoyment. It's sort of like the slasher movie mentality, except in the middle of a pulpy, fun action movie. It was a little jarring.
And occasionally the people who die are people you wanted to.
And that was one of the bloodier scenes.
Like
in
in
the movie.
that one Nightmare Before Elm Street movie. I don't remember which one.
There was only one. Oh, no, I thought you said...
There's a lot of them.
I thought you said Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm like, there's only one of those.
Yeah. Because people died in Nightmare Before Christmas.
And
And now that song is in my head, you asshole.
Which one?
This is Halloween. This is
Oh.
Halloween.
I was always much more a fan of, what's this?
that?
What's
yes,
this?
what's this? I love that song.
I mean, This Is Halloween is great, but I was always a fan of, what's
This
this?
is Halloween.
What's this?
You would be. He's a little,
Wonder.
Woo!
Woo! ADD, squirrel, dog, easily distracted.
You're right. I didn't think of it like that. I mean,
Ooh,
they
shiny.
were basically innocent
Yeah,
people.
that's partly why the scheme is so horrible, because
It doesn't change
it
the fact
really
that they're
does just
assholes.
kill.
Does that
a
mean that
sh-
they should die?
No,
Not
not
really.
like that. Not
Not
like
like
The
that.
preacher
Beat
probably. Because, like, the preacher is
I'm
always
not gonna
like
say
the main
that. I'm not
innocent.
gonna say that the Westboro Baptist people are innocents, but they're not worthy of getting the shit beaten out of them till they die.
If they're
Okay?
protesting military funerals, yeah, they deserve it.
No. That is not how the death penalty works, okay? You cannot death penalty
not anything
people
about the death
for
penalty.
being assholes, okay?
Protesting
You're
military
right. I mean,
funerals.
I really enjoyed that scene because I
Yeah,
hate
exactly.
the
None
Westboro
of us
Baptist
like
Church
those
with
people.
a passion.
But
But
it is a little...
it was a little...
And the reason it makes us uncomfortable is because we shouldn't enjoy watching them die. But we
All right,
did.
I finally found the perfect angle. No part of my head is visible. All shade.
Actually, if you hold your hands like this to your face.
Now! Oh, God. Natural light!
Oh, super comic guru.
Shotgun.
So, I don't know. It's a good action movie. Like, it's some of the best visceral action I've seen in a long time.
It's
Better
better
action than Guardians of the Galaxy. And Guardians of the Galaxy has really good action.
Yeah.
I did like the Avengers.
I mean,
though.
if I had to...
And Guardians of the Galaxy had Groot.
Yeah, no, I'm still like... I prefer Guardians of
Groot.
the Galaxy to this, because Guardians of the Galaxy is just more free fun. Like, it's much less... There's no...
And Groot is awesome.
Yeah, there's no squicky moments for me in Guardians of the Galaxy, but this, on a pure action level, is better.
I will disagree with you because I prefer the British dry humor, so I thought this was better than Guardians of the
Like
Galaxy.
Colin Firth talking to the woman in the church.
I will say that, but I don't know. If my dad wants to go see this movie again, I'll probably go.
Oh
with
no,
him.
this is a perennial. This is going to be a perennial DVD favorite. Like, people are going to buy this movie.
I wonder how it will be cut down when they eventually put it on TV.
Oh, dear God.
That is interesting, because there weren't a lot of expendable scenes.
There were a lot of, and pardon my language here, but fucks in the movie. But
Mostly
that
from
can
Samuel
be
L.
cut
Jackson.
out. That can be cut out or censored
Bleep.
over decent, or just another word put on top of it.
Yeah.
That can be done. I'm wondering about like what they're gonna do for the films, for the
The length.
TV.
I don't know. It may end up being one of those movies where they just weren't able to edit much out for time, so it just becomes like a 2.5-hour movie on
I mean,
TV.
for concept, the slicing people in half.
Again, none of it was all that bloody.
But it was pretty gory in the way they were
it was
killed.
gory in the conception.
I love the part where Samuel L. Jackson shoots Colin Firth in the head, and then he
He's
just
like,
turns
"Ah,
around. Is he dead? That tends to happen when you shoot people in the head.
And thanks for making a very big spoiler. Spoiler alert!
Shit.
Well, we already said there was spoiler alerts
I'll
in
slap a
this.
spoiler tag on the front of the video.
Yeah, but no, I thought that was really well done. I didn't think they were going to kill him. I think the
Yeah,
fact
no,
that
it
they
wasn't.
did,
It wasn't set up at all that he would die.
But,
Big surprise.
yeah. Now, Galahad was his name. They were all named after the Knights of the Round Table.
You were looking for symbolism with their
Well,
naming.
I thought there would be because of Lancelot, But
So,
okay, since
well,
we've already
the only
put up
symbolism
a
I
spoiler,
saw
can we
was-
spoil the?
Yeah, Michael Caine as Arthur turns out to be on the same side as the bad guy because, again, the bad guy has been getting to, like, the top brass of many societies. And, like, the trainer guy is called Merlin. That one made sense.
Merlin, the tech
Arthur
guy,
was
who's
the leader. That
probably
made
the new
sense.
Arthur. If I had to guess,
Arthur was the
Merlin's
leader, but her
Arthur.
point is that Arthur betrayed them.
Yeah.
Which was
When in
really not
most-
in keeping with the Arthur
In
mythos.
most of the texts,
Really, it's not.
Lancelot is considered the betrayer, although new academics now claim that he was loyal to Arthur. He was just more loyal to Guinevere, and Arthur was mistreating her. So the academics are a little torn
Lancelot
between
is
that,
usually the de facto bad guy. And Lancelot I've read some of the stories, isn't a bad guy in the original Arthur Legends. He just ends up on the wrong side because of political. It's basically World War
the
I all
idea of
over again.
courtly love versus the love you should have for your king and brother.
It's basically World War I all over again. Screw it.
But Galahad, do you know who he was?
Yeah, he was the son of Lancelot.
And the man destined
Who
to
found
go
the Holy
get the
Grail,
Holy
yeah.
Grail.
Yeah.
So one Galahad dies, and the new Galahad.
But, okay, so we were in a position either where the movie didn't think to make their names match up with any sort of symbolism, or chose not to just to mess with people like you.
Not to, because this movie was actually pretty well thought out.
It was pretty clever.
They had some stupid scenes, but on the whole,
But they
it was
were done
pretty well
intentionally. The dumbness was intentional.
I think the hand on the table the whole time, they just didn't
Okay.
have another way.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a little
They had
weird.
a few stupid scenes, but I think on the whole, this one was done on purpose. They could have named him Percival. They purposely
Oh god, I
chose...
just remembered that knife shoe thing is from Wild Wild West.
Is it?
Yeah.
I only saw that movie once. I also recall
shit, I
being
got
one of the
one of those
very
too.
rare few who liked it.
Wild Wild West. Oh, Wild Wild West is so
was
stupid
funny.
fun.
Exactly.
It's a horribly structured and written
The one
and
with,
set up. The giant mechanical spider.
Yeah, with Will Smith and Jackie Lee.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
that movie is so
It's wonderful.
it's wonderfully dumb. It is wonderfully dumb. Like it is so watchably
It's what my dad would put
stupid.
on to not think and fall asleep
Yeah.
at the end of the
It's
day.
like if Men in Black is the thinking man's sci-fi action piece, Wild Wild West is
Men in
the
Black was thinking.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of subtle nods in the original Men in Black.
I mean, I know
The
that-
later ones
No,
do not
God,
maintain
no,
that.
God, no, God, no. No, but I mean, in the original one,
Never saw 2 and 3.
it was
Don't.
the new one's not too bad.
I still recommend he not see them. Like, okay, you know how, usually I get mad when you say, oh, this ruins, something retroactively? The later Men in Black movies do kind of ruin the first one retroactively, because it's, the same creative team, and you're like, how the hell did this happen?
Where it's completely understandable if it was a different team changing
Yeah, if it was
over,
a
but
different-
it's the same people.
It's the same people, so it hurts. It hurts. Sort of like how if there was...
Pretty much how I'm going to be if the new Star Wars movie turns out to be bad.
Well,
It
that's
will never meet your expectations. Don't even.
It won't,
Well,
but I can still
you know
hope
what?
for it to be passable.
The new Star Wars movie is actually in a much better position than the prequels were. Because the prequels were being compared to the original trilogy, which is excellent. The new one's being compared to the prequels.
I thought the prequels were very nice. They had really pretty costumes.
Ewan
are
McGregor
so easy to please in the costume department.
Okay, I'm a cosplayer. I love pretty gowns. Give me pretty gowns and nice looking suits.
Ewan
and I'm
McGregor was the
happy.
perfect choice to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't care what the rest of the world thinks. Christian Hayden did a great job as Anakin Skywalker.
He
His
did.
director just sucks.
I'm actually kind of with him on that. He was a good Anakin Skywalker when he didn't have to read George Lucas's horrible script.
And he's an amazing actor. He has a long list of things he's excelled at.
I like
the problems...
Liam Neeson.
Oh yeah, Liam Neeson was also great.
Liam
There was-
Neeson is always awesome.
I don't know if I've told you guys this, but there's a cut of the first 3 prequel movies where a guy just took the 3 movies and chopped and chopped and chopped and made one movie out of all 3.
It was like 2.5 hours long?
Yeah.
Did he keep the pretty costumes?
He was using the original footage. He had to.
I mean, did he cut all the pretty
I don't know.
costumes, or-
I don't. No one.
He doesn't have the same sense of pretty
The thing
costumes.
is that
you
this
do.
cut of the Star Wars movie was done purely as an experiment. This was just him practicing cutting a movie together, and it's only been shown to like friends of his, and everyone who has seen it has been like, "Oh my god, that was so much better!"
So no Jar Jar Binks.
He cut. The one thing that has gotten out is he cut almost everything from the first movie. The only thing he starts with the Darth Maul fight. He starts with that.
You mean one of the
best
the
scene.
best lightsaber fight in Star Wars?
He starts with that, and they go forward from there. So most of the first movie is not there, and then he keeps most of the important
Just
stuff.
Liam Neeson's final moments.
Yeah. So like the best parts of that
Bastards.
movie.
You don't kill Liam Neeson.
And I really want
I
to
was
see
gonna
this.
say you don't kill Colin Firth, but
They did.
I know.
Go figure.
I did not. I
And they
loved
didn't
it,
kill
though.
Sean Bean in Jupiter Ascending. Sean Bean, whose whole shtick is dying. The world is turning upside down.
You know, I would have loved to have seen Sean Bean in this because of Sharp. He played Sharp, who worked for His Majesty's Secret Service,
Oh.
and then he became a Bond villain. This would have been like the perfect movie.
Oh,
for
and they.
Sean Bean.
And the president got his head exploded.
Yeah, what are they going to do about that? The
Yeah,
president,
yeah,
the prime minister,
A lot of
Sweden.
really
a
important
lot of the world
people
leaders are gone.
dead.
And how do you fix the entire world just up and rioting?
Well, we have up to 30 people listed to take the throne of England.
Yeah,
And there are like 30
and there were
people-
there were at least 20 or so people who he was holding in his cells.
Like the
So
princess,
there are some world leaders
the
left.
princess is alive. Not that she has much power in the Swedish government, but
But
she's alive.
I guess all the other ones are dead. So
Yeah.
and he didn't kill like mid-level politicians. He got the big ones. So it's not like the line of secession for everywhere is completely cut
So
off.
the
But
Senate
total
minority
chaos.
leader-
Total chaos is still going to erupt. And they were very, very subtle about not actually showing the president's face. It was always from behind. It kind of looked like Obama with the ears, but it wasn't black.
I didn't even see
It
that.
wasn't black enough to be Obama.
No, it was a white person.
It was definitely a white person, but it kind of had like Obama's ears. They're kind of noticeable from behind. But anyway,
He does have big ears.
It was very good about keeping it bipartisan, except for the Prime Minister of Sweden, but most Americans and British people won't care about who they pick to portray the Prime Minister of Sweden, and they picked on the Princess of Sweden, so hey.
they picked on the country that's probably not going to whine very loudly.
Yeah,
They probably picked on the country that's just not going to care.
exactly.
One last thing I do want to say, Samuel L. Jackson has the Google Glass thing, like the whole movie. And he uses it like 3 times, mostly towards the end, and in logical ways. But best product placement, we gotta remember to mention that. But I did like
Greatest
that
product placement ever.
he just had it. Like, and it was a very subtle element of like his persona. He's a tech billionaire. He's got the best tech, including those special glasses things.
I have one question, though, for both of you.
Yo,
In today's day and age, being as, shall we say, genre savvy as we are, if somebody offered you a free SIM card with unlimited phone and unlimited internet,
This was his plan to get.
yeah, I wouldn't accept, and maybe that's my middle class background speaking, but that just reeks of me of too good to be true.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't accept because I don't
Stick this in your
trust him.
phone, and your phone has unlimited talk, unlimited text, unlimited
To
internet.
any carrier.
To any carrier ever on a
First off,
good...
no carrier would accept that deal.
Oh, they would.
Because
No,
there's no money in it for them.
They have to accept it, because the only way they can stay in business is if people are talking to the people who haven't gotten that SIM card.
Which would be so little in today's world.
Well, that's exactly the thing she's saying. I don't know if I'd take it either, because it does have very much way too good to be true.
And that's the classist element of
But-
this. The poor people.
Yeah, exactly. It would. Everyone of a certain...
yeah.
exactly. Everyone of a certain economic bracket would spring for this.
And that was the idea. Let the poor people kill each other off.
Yeah,
he
the-
had the rich people.
Yeah, he had all the rich people in, like, bunkers.
It was brilliant.
It was very... I mean, it was
Brilliant.
silly Bond villain
But
machinations.
they didn't overplay it in the movie. It was
Up
subtle.
until
so
heads
that,
exploding.
Well, no. I mean, they didn't overplay the fact that he had the rich people and the poor people got the card. That was something he left the audience to connect.
But it was still in your face. It wasn't like... I mean, it was never directly stated to the
speaking
audience.
of
so
the
they give their-
fireworks head exploding, do you think maybe he did something to the little things in their neck to where it wouldn't be blood since he hated blood so much, or did they just do
I
that
don't
to be
think that's
funny?
possible.
I think that was just an effect.
Yeah.
What else in that movie was possible? It's just the utter defiance of
The
logic.
5 football field lengths hangar and cars and
I did think it was a good moment when Gazelle was like, "Oh God, their heads are exploding," because we knew Gazelle had one too, but apparently hers wasn't rigged to explode.
maybe because he trusted her, he didn't need her to have that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, she was on his side the
But
entire time.
exactly. That's just another moment of really subtle characterization for Gazelle.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think we
She
didn't see
is
enough of her
so
in the movie.
trusted that even though she has the same chip, which has another purpose other than exploding heads, she has that chip in her head. It's not rigged to explode.
Well, that
So what
goes
the hell
back
was
to
it
the
for?
brother sister or the
The other
romantic
thing it did was it was designed to
mask the effect
counteract the brain control thing.
But I love Giselle, even though those legs kind of freaked me out a little bit because I don't like. Yeah, but I thought it was really well done, and I loved her.
Okay, so world's best product placement, McDonald's. I don't know who you had to blow off in some back boardroom, but the writers really liked that blowjob and wrote you a really good product placement scene.
behave.
And a pun at the end of it.
Yes.
Thank you for such a happy
Meal.
meal.
Colin Firth shows up at Samuel L. Jackson's place. They're sitting down.
Supposedly, after donating like millions of dollars,
Yeah, like so much money.
enough that Jackson said, "I canceled the gala for you."
Yeah. It's like, we're just going to have a dinner. And a Gazelle comes out, pushing a little cart. Shunk.
And it's McDonald's.
I'll have the Big Mac.
Good choice.
Well, I have it
with-
with the 76 vermouth.
But
And now I'm hungry.
easily a $300 bottle of wine minimum.
with McDonald's.
With
Samuel
what was
L.
probably
Jackson
a $10 meal.
was the single
20.
best
They had a
choice.
lot of McDonald's on there.
Samuel
Not if you get
Jackson
the
was
dinner
the
box.
single best choice for the bad guy. Not just because he's got good comic timing and can be menacing but also charismatic. No, because he's so American. Samuel L. Jackson is so American. And the bad guy in this movie is so American.
You know, that was probably American McDonald's, too.
Yeah, it was absolutely American McDonald's.
They were in America when it happened.
Were
so.
they in America?
Yeah, that's where his house was. In, like,
Oh, I thought
California.
it was in Britain.
No, he flew to visit him.
Oh, okay, because I was going to say, if that house was in Britain, he literally flew the McDonald's over to Britain, because I'm pretty sure that was American McDonald's and not British.
But so, and that his Americanness is to counterpoint the Britishness of the good guys. The British are the good guys, the Americans are the bad guys. Let's go with British imperialism over American imperialism. There's all sorts of like political subtext you can read in there. But it's
Well,
a good,
who cares?
It's a good
Zany action
it's a
movie.
good contrast. Americans are very not British.
Really not.
In fact, wasn't that one of our founding principles? We don't want to be like the British. And boy, did we take that to heart.
Except when you're reviewing manga and keep using British slang.
They're good for replacing cuss words. What do you want from me?
British slang is really cool.
I was very happy when they said, "Are you taking the piss?" Because that is a phrase a lot of Americans will not get. But the great thing about that phrase is it's so descriptive that anyone picks up on it through context clues. Like, it essentially means, "Are you fucking with me?"
See, the only time I understand it is like, are you drunk or have you been drinking? Or do you want to get drunk? Because they use that to refer to alcohol or something.
Drunk and drinking are like phrases humans all over the planet use.
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about?
No. In Britain. In Britain, in British colonies or places they have influence, such as Australia, you go into a bar, they'll occasionally say, "Oh, you want to get pissed?"
Right.
In Shaun of the Dead, remember when they found the first zombie in their backyard? It was the sales clerk woman.
Yeah.
She's so drunk. The original script for that was to be she's so pissed. They changed it to drunk because they were worried American audience wouldn't understand that. So sometimes they use pissed to refer to this person
why
as
does that
drunk or
amuse
something.
you so much that they use drunk?
I didn't say it amused me. I said it was the
Well,
only
that
time I
was-
would recognize that
That
context.
was the sentence he used, right? Am I just like
Are you
imagining
taking
things?
the piss? That's them. You saying they're fucking with them.
Well, it doesn't necessarily
understand it in
mean
a
drunk.
different
It can be
context.
drunk or are you. Either context works depending on what scene you're in. In a bar scene, it obviously means drunk.
That's how I kept
Let's get
inferring it.
pissed drunk.
So,
So Kingsman is a bloody good time.
yes.
To adopt the
Actually,
phraseology.
no, it's really
Occasional-
not bloody.
Occasional emphasis on bloody.
Sorry. I will say this: Mark Strong, absolutely amazing. Colin Firth, Samuel L.
Apparently,
Jackson.
Mark Hamill was in this movie, but
We
I
didn't
refuse to.
see him.
I refuse to admit that was him.
We couldn't see him, so maybe. Okay, if you go see this after seeing our review, keep an eye out for Mark Hamill, because we didn't see him.
Do we want to say what role he's in to see if people maybe figure it out?
He's some sort of like teacher to give
He's
you a
the
hint.
professor.
There was only one teacher in that movie. Congratulations.
That
You
Yeah.
could
called
have
him.
been him. That could not
It
have been
didn't-
him.
The nose was all wrong.
Yeah, the facial
Whoever that
structure-
makeup person was deserves a medal. 'Cause
Yeah,
that was
and
not
it
Mark
wasn't
Hamill.
just the fake beard. It was the nose for me.
Ugh.
Bad gum.
Nah, I just get tired of it when it runs out of flavor.
So, did we want to do commercials?
Oh yeah, totally do previews.
Previews.
But, go see it. It's a good action
Yes.
movie. It's worth full price. It is worth full price.
I paid $20 for this because I bought her ticket as well because the theater house was packed.
Which
when we got there, there were 9 tickets left,
Oh, my wallet's over there.
like $10 a piece. And there was like a line of people behind us.
I saw that the board said low seating. Oh, the seats in this theater.
They
Oh.
recently redid the
It's
theater
a
we went
food
to,
theater
so
It's
where
like-
you can eat.
It's like
so
every chair.
they
is
have freaking
it's
recliner
your
chairs.
own lazy
easy
boy.
chairs.
Oh.
That being said, there are only what
Yeah, it's
40
like
theaters in the 40 or 50 seats in the
yeah,
house
it's
now?
much reduced in terms of seating
No,
capacity.
60 because they have those 3 rows in the front that I
Yeah.
guess lean back
Which
further.
it may
No,
have
they're
just
like
been the
full- yeah,
lights,
they're
but I
full
think that
ottoman.
one of those was
Yeah.
a couch or something.
But
Well,
those
people
chairs
were
were
leaning
so
on
nice.
each other. It is the day before Valentine's Day.
And it's also
Oh
the
yeah,
day
there
after
was a
50
huge
Shades opened up.
there was a huge line for 50 Shades of Grey.
Have fun!
The
I
worst
won't.
movie you could possibly see on Valentine's Day, by the way. The mother of all non-holidays.
Wow.
Again, that's Arbor Day, you fuck.
Arbor
Okay,
Day holds merit, at least.
so prequels. We saw a
Previews.
we saw a preview that none of us had ever seen
No,
before.
I've seen that because I looked it up online though.
Okay, fine. None of us have ever seen in any other form of media other than specifically looking for it online for a film coming out in August. So they're pushing it rather tight considering it's coming out
Yeah,
from
no,
Marvel.
no, it's not. It's coming from Fox.
But
Yeah,
it still
Fox
said
owns them.
Marvel.
It has to say Marvel because they own the comic rights to Fantastic Four. But it's just like with the
If
X-Men.
they don't
Okay,
say,
fine. So
if they don't say Marvel, Marvel will go all out and
well,
just
of course
force
they're going
take
to go
it
all
back.
out. But
Regardless
anyway,
how much money
it
they
was
want.
Fantastic Four.
No, Fan-Fortastic.
Yeah, they replaced the A in Fantastic with the number 4, so Fant-Fantastic.
Okay, I saw the one with Chris
Evans as the Human Torch.
It wasn't good, but the
Wait, they got
cast
Chris
looked-
Evans to be the Human Torch?
Yes, and then he became Captain America.
A lot of people thought since he was the only good thing in that movie, other than possibly Jessica Alba.
Wait, so
It's
you're saying he was the
Jessica
Human
Alba was
Torch
not
in
a
the
good
old
part of
I've
that.
heard
Fantastic?
people say she was
Well,
okay
they're
in it.
wrong.
So you're saying Chris Evans was the Human Torch in
Yes.
the old Fantastic Four
Yes,
movies?
they were
The
mostly
ones in the mid-2000s.
they
Never
were
saw
mostly
them.
guys in
Didn't want
love
to.
with her
Not...
who said she was good in it. But They said that was like his audition to get in, basically. He was halfway
He nailed it. He nailed it.
And now he's Captain America.
I thought the cast looked a little young from what I know of
Yeah,
the
they're doing a
Four.
pretty serious rework of the mythos as far as and more so than that, they're doing a really heavy rework of the theme. The theme of the original Fantastic Four is science is amazing.
Yeah.
The glory of traveling into space and discovering new things. And yes, okay, they get superpowers because of cosmic radiation bollocks. But this one is much more along the... you could feel it in the trailer. The trailer was very much, be careful with science. Science can lead to our ruin.
I didn't like the trailer. I thought it was...
It was very dour.
I wasn't expecting fight scenes in the trailer, okay? But I wasn't, like...
There was no passion or energy.
It didn't make me excited.
It was dour. It was
I didn't like the cast.
trailer.
I couldn't figure out which character was supposed to be
Okay,
who.
the black guy was the Torch. The guy who had like a line, it's like, "What will I discover?" That's Mr. Fantastic. The woman is, of course, the Invisible Woman.
Of course, her, but...
And the guy with the baseball bat is going to be the Thing.
You said the black guy was the Human Torch. But when the trailer at the end, it was clearly a white person who was the Human Torch.
No.
He kneeled over, white skin,
No,
touched a
no,
dead
he was
person,
white.
and burst into flames.
Well, that can't be right because I know for a fact it's the black guy.
Well,
I know about the casting to a
Well,
degree.
wasn't
You are very wrong
the
right here.
Torch, though, a baseball player?
No, that...
I don't remember. Out of all the comics in the
Again,
world, Fantastic Four is one of the ones
if
I've seen the
anything,
least
I
to.
don't know what continuity they might like
You know,
try and
I
base
have to
this
watch
off.
that commercial again, but I'm pretty sure Brandon's right. It was a white man who went up
was.
in flames. Maybe your intel was wrong?
What? You mean his eyes?
No.
No,
Alex
like,
says he has intel about who's playing which character.
It should be the black guy as the
Then,
Human
yeah, his
Torch.
intel is wrong.
I mean, maybe my eyes were wrong. It was a really quick scene.
It was
but
really quick.
I could have sworn
It
it
was
was
a white
one
guy.
of the white...
Well, anyway, the Fantastic Four trailer does not inspire confidence in that movie. Neither does the fact that Fox has been sitting on information for this movie, just like a safe. Like, no information other than little tidbits has gotten out. They just barely released this trailer.
It is Fox.
What
we're
was it?
talking
It was,
about.
but they love their X-Men movies. It's not like they don't know how to promote these movies.
You know, I almost wonder if this is one they didn't want to do, but kind of were forced to.
Sort of like with the Amazing Spider-Man movies,
Yeah.
where it's like, we just had to make a Spider-Man movie.
I still haven't seen the second one, but I still believe the first one was good.
I
don't care
thought
what
the
anyone
Tobey
says.
Maguire movies were okay. The one I saw.
Okay,
I'm
not great.
Two
Yeah,
was great.
But I didn't like the Andrew
I
Garfield from
I
what
don't
I
remember
saw,
his
so I
name,
didn't
but
watch them.
I like who they got to play Doc Ock in the second Spider-Man movie.
Which one?
The
Toby
Tobey
or
Maguire
Andrew?
ones.
Toby.
Whoever they got to play Doc Ock, I
He
like.
was great.
Yeah, the Tobey Maguire movies had the geekiness that Spider-Man has. Andrew
But
Garfield
he's the
wanted
trash
to make
talker
it too.
one.
Yeah, but
But you
Andrew wanted
can't-
to make it too emo.
The point of Spider-Man is that Spider-Man is a persona that Peter Parker puts on, which is why Peter Parker is a nerd and Spider-Man is a trash talker.
He's not Batman.
Exactly.
Spider-Man cannot be a trash talker unless he's wearing the mask, and Andrew Garfield can't turn off his natural charisma. Okay? He can't do it.
Love Andrew Garfield.
Then
He was
put-
not right for Spider-Man.
Put someone who's not Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker, someone who's not gonna
No,
do that
Tobey
emo
Maguire was a great Peter Parker. He struggled a little as Spider-Man because he struggles to turn on the raw charisma of Andrew Garfield.
You know, if you could make a movie where
Yeah, you know what? That's what we need. We need Tobey Maguire playing Peter Parker and Andrew Garfield playing Spider-Man.
to be fair, at least Andrew
It'll be like
Garfield,
a tag team.
But to be fair, at least Andrew Garfield looked like he belonged in high school.
Barely.
Yeah.
Anyway, next up, Hitman, Agent 47 with the guy who is definitely not Orlando Bloom.
Although he certainly has the facial structure,
And
doesn't
he
he?
had that, eyebrow up that
And
he
for
has in
anyone
Lord of
like
the
me
Rings.
who's seen the other Hitman movie, the one that came out back in 07, I believe, it is
Nothing
not
to
the
do
sa-
with that.
It is not the
Nothing to
same
do with
dude
that.
Wait, wait, wait.
playing.
07 and they're already rebooting it? It's 2015, barely.
They rebooted the
I don't
Spider-Man
remember
movies
if it
after
came
5
I
years.
know.
I'm guessing at the year it came out. I don't remember.
I guess the main advantage of rebooting the Hitman movie is that no one really saw the Hitman movie. It was a flop. I mean, when you reboot
At
something
least
popular,
in that Hitman movie, Agent 47 actually had a British accent. The one in the trailers.
you know.
didn't.
But okay, what I thought was interesting that I could tell from the trailer. First of all, it looks like it has some really cool fight scenes.
Yes.
This is from the preview alone. I'm seriously thinking it's just the transporter with Agent 47 in it.
No. See, that's what what I could read from the trailer was that Agent 47 is the bad guy.
They're
Like, he's-
a secret
I know,
organization of
but-
assassins.
I
Yes,
know.
they're the bad
From
guy.
what I've heard, he wants to get the girl to find her father to fix him or something like that.
Okay, but it looked like there was like another guy who was. It was going to be sort of a.
Zachary Quinto.
It was going to be sort of a Terminator, the first one set up, where the Terminator is technically the star of the movie, but the good guy is Kyle Reese.
Zachary Quinto, if I'm not mistaken.
If my guess is going to be right about this movie, they're going to basically have it in the movie version of Hitman Absolution,
I hope
where
not.
he tracks down the leader of the Hitman organization and kills him. So, kind of out of revenge, kind of out of so he can't steal the lives of any other
This
people.
is the first video game based movie I've seen that looks like it might actually work as a
It's
movie.
basically action porn.
I know, but
Oh
and
God, is it?
we're still waiting on the day someone figures out how to make a movie out of something bizarre like Pac-Man or Mario. But
Without giving them a torture emo backstory.
yeah.
Mario already got turned into
Ooh,
a
I'm,
movie.
almo-
God,
I'm
was it
almost
bad.
out of juice. Let's speed this up a little. Agent 47 is it looks like it could be good.
Okay,
I mean, so did Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, and that was just
costumes.
Must wait until further
with you in
intelligence.
In defense of Agent 47, they made reference to him like disguising himself,
Yeah.
which is a big part of those games. So
God,
they
is
at
it?
least know the game. They're not just like taking something. There hasn't really been a good Hitman game in a while, so I think this might be
I
a
played the
passion
first
project.
one in Absolution. That was it.
This
Okay.
is probably a passion project.
I have one question for you guys. Is it too late to change the name?
God.
Ant-Man!
One of the
Ant-Man.
best lines I have ever heard
Yes.
in a movie trailer.
Yes, why do you think I wrote it down on my notes?
You guys hadn't seen that trailer yet?
I hadn't seen it.
No.
I saw the EW spread that they did, but I haven't seen the film.
Ant-Man is...
Commercials.
It's another Marvel movie. This one, isn't it coming out this year?
It is.
Along
It's
with Star Wars, Batman vs. Superman. And,
Mad Max. God, it's a good year for movies if you're a geek.
supposedly
And an action
last year was a
movie
good
film.
year for movies. Not so much, though.
Oh, you didn't go see enough of them. Although it was
I went to see
You know
Godzilla,
what,
that
you know
was
what
enough.
it was? It was a bad year last year for Oscar bait movies.
Eh.
Like, it was like all the stuff that comes out in December that's supposed to tempt the Oscars was kind of meh. But all the stuff that came out in the summer was really good.
Godzilla?
It was a weird.
Well, Godzilla was in spring.
It was a weird year for
Maleficent.
movies.
Maleficent was good. And Maleficent was really good.
It was a weird year for movies last year, but overall I think it was good. Ant-Man. If anyone's worried about the fact that Ant-Man is a known wife beater, it looks like they've excised that part of his backstory.
It's the old Ant-Man. The new Ant-Man is a kid. Well, not a kid. He's 20-something or
Yeah.
something.
Young adult.
So, yeah, the whole him being abusive to the Wasp lady is, as far as we know, not even going to be in there. It looks a little darker than the average Marvel movie, but based on the line, can we change the name? They haven't abandoned their sense of humor. So don't worry, they're not turning into DC movies.
And don't worry, no real ants were used in the making of this movie. Apparently they're all CG.
You know what I was playing? I was playing the Ziggurat, and it's like a fantasy game. You shoot carrots, like giant carrots with teeth. And in one of the loading screens, it says, some carrots were harmed in the making of this game.
What is this game on?
Steam.
I need to get this. How much was it?
I would say like $10 now. It's pretty
I
good
just
deal.
dropped $20 on this movie. I'm probably actually in overdraft.
So, we're almost out of battery juice. So, yeah, we're good now.
This movie was amazing. Definitely buying when it comes out.
Definitely worth
Of
seeing.
course, I said the same thing about Godzilla, and I still haven't bought that
worth
yet.
seeing in theaters. Worth seeing in theaters.
Definitely a theater movie.
Definitely. And tomorrow I will see you all for 50 Shades of Grey.
Good luck.
But I won't be there.
No, I've got Liliana with me on that one. She's actually a fan of the book, so we're going to have both perspectives on that.
You'll remember her from the Jupiter Ascending review.
Alright, bye.
Happy Valentine's Day.